Welcome to day 6 of 12 of the 12 days of finance. I'm Robin. I'm a certified financial planner, certified private wealth advisor, wealth manager by trade, and your rich auntie. Today's video is for the people who have the great fortune of retiring in 2025. What are some things that you need to do before you put in notice at your job? Stay with me. So, when people consider retirement, it's often considering retirement at a distance. And when the happy day or happy year of retirement occurs, people often don't know what to do. There's a certain sequence of events that I advise clients to do in the year of retirement that help prepare them for the departure from their job and the departure of the world of work. Now, for some people, it's bittersweet. It's the final move in a career that's often lasted 30 to 40 years. Sometimes they're very relieved to leave the job. Sometimes they're very have mixed emotions about leaving the job. It really helps to take some time to sort through your own feelings about leaving the job that you're currently working in. Sometimes if there's unfinished business or there's a lot of unfinished emotion, sometimes people end up going back into the workforce when there's unfinished business in the workforce. So just taking a moment and reflecting on the last 30 or 40 years in the workplace and what leaving this job means to you. You may have no thoughts about it at all, but oftentimes people do have thoughts and feelings about leaving their job. First things first is the year before or late in the year before the person is considering retirement. Like for my clients considering retirement in 2025, I'm telling them right now in the end of 2024 to start gathering all their retirement statements. It's rare that people have just one 401k account. They usually have 3 or 4 401k accounts kind of parsed around from different jobs, from old positions that they left some time ago. And it's time to start gathering those statements, and it's time to start consolidating those accounts. So I always advise clients in the last part of the year before they retire to start gathering all the statements for all the assets they intend to use for retirement. That ties into my next point. It's really important to talk to a financial advisor at least 6 months before you put in notice that you are retiring. This is to review your retirement plan and review your assets and also talk about what you want to happen to all these different accounts. Do you want to consolidate all these retirement assets in one 401k? Do you want to put them in an IRA account? Do you want to do something else with them? A financial advisor can talk through the different options and the different opportunities to give you a clear idea of what you need to do with these accounts upon retirement. Now, the difference between a 401k and IRA, people often ask me, like, what is the difference between the two accounts? They really seem to be exactly the same to most people. And in many, it's complicated how they are different, but they are different accounts. A good example of how they are different is if you are sued, the 401k is an ERISA-based account. Therefore, it is protected from litigation judgments, whereas the IRA is not. And so if I have clients who are in high litigation field, think like someone who is a surgeon or a lawyer, they know at some point in their career they're going to be in a lawsuit at some point. I often advise them that maybe instead of putting that money in an IRA, it makes more sense to put that money in a 401k and keep it there just for legal protection. So, talking to an advisor makes a lot of sense. Have them run projections because once you retire, often there's no takesy backsy once you give notice that you are retiring. And you just want to dot all the I's and cross all the T's to make sure that you have done everything you needed to do to put yourself in a good position to start retirement. Also, looking at the annual work calendar. For example, in 2025, every single year bonuses come out in April. You're not going to leave in March, okay? If you know that there is a 2-week shutdown that happens every June that is fully paid, maybe you tie your retirement into July. There's these things that happen at different points during the year, whether they're bonuses, shutdowns, extra perks or this or that come up that maybe you want to stick around and receive the benefit from. So I would pull out that calendar, take a look at the annual calendar year for that business and choose your date of departure accordingly. Next, I would Review the policies of the company for vacation time and sick time. A lot of companies have switched to unlimited vacation time. And, people thought that that was something innovative and new, but essentially, it's a double-edged sword. Really, unlimited vacation time is never really unlimited. And essentially, it made it so that corporations did not have to pay people out their vacation time once they departed the company. Sick time may be something else, or maybe your company hasn't made the switch to unlimited vacation time, but definitely review HR policies as to what your vacation time and your sick time policies are, and if you are due to be paid out anything before you depart due to retirement. If you're not going to be paid out anything, it may make sense to take a couple of nice vacations during the year, and utilize that sick time. If you are going to be paid out, you may want to strategically design your vacations to coincide of when you are actually retired, or just wait until later in the year or next year to take that vacation. So also schedule all doctors, eye, and dental appointments before you depart your job. Reason being, some people do retire at 65 and go straight into Medicare. A lot of people don't go straight into Medicare. They have to go into the Obamacare exchange or some other form of medical insurance until they reach 65. Oftentimes, Obamacare doesn't include vision and dental. And so while you have full insurance, make full use of it and get any vision, dental, or doctor's appointments in for the year and schedule those early for the year. Also, if you're a screening age, like for example, maybe you're 60 and it's time to schedule that colonoscopy, get the colonoscopy while it's on your health insurance. Get that mammogram or whatever exam that you're supposed to have, pap test, prostate exam, whatever milestone exam according to your years, while you have health insurance through your company, and let them cover the bill for you. Can you max out your retirement accounts for the year? If you're going to leave the company in July, in the first 6 or 7 months of the year, can you max out? Because that's really going to be your last opportunity in this lifetime to contribute to retirement, because contributing to retirement accounts requires earned income. And this is your last hurrah for earned income. Next, this is very, very important, and I've seen people do this go wrong and have it go wrong on them. Don't give notice until 2 weeks or 4 weeks before your retirement. There was recently a case in the public eye where an older woman, she wasn't that old, she was like maybe 63, she gave notice of her retirement and gave 6 months notice, and they fired her very shortly thereafter. I've heard cases like that happening. For my clients who are in very senior position, like think C-level executives or senior director positions, sometimes they're asked to give up to 12 months notice because their position is very difficult to fill. And it takes months, if not years, to find a person that can do the work at their level. So I would say in those situations, you do want to give earlier notice. But if it's just a regular job, I would give 2 months to 1 month notice and leave it at that. Don't tell your coworkers that you're getting ready to retire. You don't want them to start spreading the word of your departure. You also don't want people to start gunning for your job before you've left the job, because if you have to rescind that idea of retirement or something changes, if you already have your successor already lined up and they had their eyes on your job, it's going to be awkward. So keep it under your hat. Unless you are a high-level executive and are expected to give many months or even years notice of your departure. So know your date of departure. If you know you're retiring in 2025, you want to know your date of departure by the beginning of 2025. So by like January 1st, I want to know that I'm out of there on July 1st. And that means I've looked at the calendar, I've gotten all the goods and payments that are due for me, I've gotten that bonus check that comes out in April, I've, sat through the shutdown at the end of June, I'm coming back July 1st and that's it. I'm out of there. You really want to have that date pinned down. You don't want it to be a floating date on the calendar. And you want, like I said, you don't want to go and announce that to your employer. You want to keep that under your hat until 2 weeks to a month's notice before you are depart. And if you are C-level, then you may have to give more notice. Another thing I would say, and I've seen this go wrong on people, leave on good terms if you can. I know sometimes when the job has been rough or you haven't been happy for a long time, it's very tempting to tell people where to stick it and where to go. And you may think you may not have to circle the block and come back around. But if you can leave on good terms, and if this is a job that you wouldn't mind coming back to on some level, if you want to continue working in some capacity, can you do contract work or part-time work in the office? Can you fill in for people who are on vacation? Only do that if it's been a pretty positive experience and you wouldn't mind coming back to the office on those terms, but don't burn bridges if you can. It's very tempting for some people to do that, and I've seen it kind of go not the way people intended it when they do burn bridges on their way out of the office. A few other things I would say is look at your savings. A lot of people make the mistake of thinking their 401k or IRA accounts are their savings account. They're not. They're completely different accounts. You really should have bare minimum 3 months savings for retirement of living expenses, probably more along the line of 6 to 8 months in savings for retirement. And that should be sitting in a high yield savings account, not in the IRA, not in the 401k. Reason why not in the IRA, not in the 401k, because those are taxable accounts. And if you have an emergency, you don't want to have to figure out how you're going to pay the taxes on this money to take it out to replace your hot water heater or roof or whatever went wrong at that particular point in time. The next thing that I would say, going into 2025, we're experiencing a political change and things may be uncertain. Sometimes for some clients, and I would really advise talking to a financial advisor about this because I don't do it for all clients. Sometimes it makes sense during market highs to take money off the table. We're currently experiencing a market high, and I'm currently having some conversations with some clients to put money away in savings and just take it off from the gains and put it into a savings account. I don't really like doing it because if you cut too deeply or you do it too often, you can begin robbing the portfolio of returns. But for my clients that are more conservative and have more questions about the future, it could be the right decision simply because it helps them feel better and sleep at night. And financial advising is always an art and a science. It's about coming up with the best return, but also making the person feel good about their lives and their choices. And sometimes, instead of a 15% return, this person could have gotten a 16% return. But I feel good because I helped this person sleep at night and feel good about themselves. So it's an art and a science, and sometimes it just makes sense to take money off the table, put it in a CD. You can keep it in the retirement account, but it's just in a cash or money market position. So there you have it. Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, and if you found this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe.